So what was I saying? Oh yeah, the big house.
Ooh, we going to the big
We're
house?
going to the big house in Big Ten action for those Huskies and those Michigan Wolverines going home to the big house. And this is based off of this guy, Heisman candidate, Mr. Hayes, has averaged almost 100 yards
Mm-hmm.
every game and then some, almost 2 touchdowns in a game and then some. This man is hurt. Didn't finish last game, I believe, against USC. Um, I do think he's been limited, but for me, in my head, they said he has a good chance of playing. Even if he does, he's not going to be 100%. I don't think he actually plays. I think he's out, in my personal opinion. And I think that is huge for these Huskies because they're coming off not a week, but 10 days of rest. I'm not really worried about the travel west going east. They've done it already. They went to Maryland already 2 weeks ago, and they got it done. This team has played well all year. They only ran into what everybody runs into the buzzsaw, the buzzsaw as in the Ohio State Buckeyes, and that was a tight game until the fourth quarter. They were only down one score. And when you look at the score of this game, they were only down one score going into the fourth. I
Mm-hmm.
believe it was 13-6, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe 14-6. So that game was very close. So they played, the Buckeyes really close, but everybody else really wasn't close. And Michigan's a good team. I believe they will rely on Underwood here, but you're missing, I want to say maybe 70%, 75% of your offense
Yeah, it's huge.
if Hayes goes down, and that is huge. Now, I forget the kid. They did have a backup that came in. They had like 16, 17 carries for like 50, 60 yards, but he ain't him. He ain't Hayes. So this preview is based on Mr. Hayes playing or not. I'm basing it on if he's not, and if he's not, I think this goes down to like 3.5. I think this goes down like 48. I think he has that much of an impact on this game, which he shouldn't because he's not a quarterback. It's a running back. But I think the dog is super live here to win this game. The Huskies can win this game outright. With that big of a projection, and then you have that line, um, that prize money line that low, to me, that should be like 225 maybe with a touchdown score ahead by Michigan. Now, don't let's not get into it. You're going to the big house though. It ain't like it's sweet to go get a win
Yeah.
there.
Mm-hmm.
But I think a touchdown is way too much. Give me the Huskies. I'm buying the point as well. Um, this has this here. We just talked about a big deal about the hook. So that's beautiful to get it through there. But without Mr. Hayes, I don't think the Wolverines are a touchdown better than the Huskies. Give me the dog. Oh, 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 oh. The Huskies too. Oh, give me the dog.
I think you can also say it's a sandwich game here too. Um, they got Michigan State coming up. It's a rivalry game.
Oh, you talking about Michigan?
Michigan State is next week,
Yeah, yeah.
so it's a rivalry game there. You can't sleep on Washington. I know Washington's 5-1. Good quarterback production out of Washington. People don't really realize that because they're far in the West Coast, Northwest.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't get a lot of talk about how good this team is, but they've shown improved week in and week out. But Michigan might come in, like you said, you're hampered with your best player out potentially, or not 100%. And they also got a look ahead spot playing Michigan State, a rivalry in-state rivalry game. So that's something you got to kind of take a look at also.
Yeah, and I think the quality of wins for me are better than the quality of wins for Michigan. Going to Maryland, the Terps aren't bad. Rutgers, and that Washington State, but Nebraska ain't nothing. Wisconsin really ain't nothing, you know. And then you lose, you know, we already know Central Michigan really ain't nothing. But you lose to two solid teams in USC and OU. OU really being, you know, a probably top 5, top 10 team in the nation. Even at, you know, maybe in top 5 at this point. I forget where they're ranked. You know, early September. But
I'm gonna actually look at
going to the Terps, you know, cross country 2 weeks ago, against Maryland. You know, that's a big win. At home against Rutgers, Rutgers coming across, that makes sense. Rutgers defense is not that good, but and
I
like I
might
said,
look,
hung tough against Ohio State. Hung tough against Ohio State.
might be a look at Michigan team total under here. Washington defense been holding people down. If this is 24, potentially 24 and a half,
I'll
I would
tell
look
you.
to go under here. I think it might be if the line is 50 something, 51.
Well, I
It might
mean,
be more than that. It might be 26 and a half, potentially.
especially if old boy not playing.
Correct. It might be a real big gem here. Let's go Michigan team total
Let
under
me
than the projection.
let me get that.
Might be 26 and a half. No, it's probably over 24 and a half.
Let's see. So they are at 27 and a half.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I don't think they get there with him playing
No, I don't.
because I don't think he's going to play. I think if he does play, he's a decoy, and they might give him the ball a little bit, just see where he's at. Like when you have an injured star in the beginning of a big game, and I'll keep this brief because we got to keep it moving. You want to get him the ball, and you want to know from a coaching perspective what you have, so you can get into your game plan that you have in case you don't have this player available. I mean, you want to see, you know, is he sharp? Does he look like he's shying away from contact? Does he have that explosion? Is he falling down a little bit early? All that stuff counts to kind of see. So he'll be worth a decoy if he does suit up, but I don't expect him to get his full workload coming off a game that he couldn't return to, and he still hasn't really practiced as of yet. So,
Well, hit that hot button for me. I'm going to take Michigan team total under 27 and a half. I think that's way too much, even with Haynes healthy. Washington is one of the best rush defenses in college football.
they're top 6. I think they're
So
6.
he's going to have an issue anyway. They're about middle of the pack, upper of the middle of the pack defensive total. If you look at who they've played, they've held Ohio State to 24 points and everybody else under 20. And that's including Maryland that puts points up on a football scoreboard.
Yep.
So I'm looking at that. I know Washington State got a little loose, but that was late. But
If
27 and a half.
If Ohio State didn't put up 27, what we think Michigan going to do?
Correct. So, yeah, that'll be a hot button play here.
Yeah.
Michigan team total under 27 and a half. I just added that.
Me too. Didn't even think of it. All right, let's keep